Welcome to Lesson 11 of Nginx Mastery. Last lesson, we got TLS working, but encryption alone won't stop a bot brute-forcing WP login, won't hide your Nginx version from CVE scanners, and won't block public access to a leaked .git directory. So today we're stacking 4 more layers on top of HTTPS, hiding the fingerprint, rate limiting, security headers, and file restrictions. Each one shuts down a specific attack class, and together they handle about 95% of automated noise. Here's the map for the next 25 lines of config. Layer 1, server tokens off, so scanners can't pin your version. Layer 2, limit rec zone, a per IP counter that lets real users through and chokes brute force attempts. Layer 3, add header, telling browsers what's allowed, framing, MIME sniffing, refer leakage. Layer 4, a deny rule on .dot files, so a stray git or .env never leaks your source. Add it once at server scope, and every host inherits the defense. Picture the request flowing left to right. It hits layer 1 and the fingerprint is gone, so automated CVE scanners lose interest and move on. Layer 2 counts hits per IP, starving brute force bots before they reach your login. Layer 3 sets the browser's rules of engagement, killing XSS, clickjacking, and MIME sniffing. Layer 4 slams the door on .dot files. Anything that survives all 4 is, almost certainly, a real user. So let's start with Layer 1. Out of the box, Nginx happily advertises its exact version on every response. And that's the first thing CVE scanners grep for. One line, server tokens off inside your HTTP block, and the version disappears. Pair it with custom error pages so a 404 or a 500 doesn't leak it back either. It's a one-line change with no downside. Always set it. Layer 2, rate limiting. The pattern is 2 steps. Define a zone at the HTTP level that tracks requests per IP, then apply it inside a location. For a general API, 10 requests per second with a burst of 20, and NodeLay gives real users headroom while still cutting off scrapers. For login endpoints, drop the burst entirely, 5 per minute, hard ceiling. That single line in front of wp-login.php kills brute force attempts before they ever reach your back end. Layer 3 pushes work out to the browser. 5 headers set once at server scope, and every response carries them. X-frame options stops clickjacking. X-content type options kills MIME sniffing. Referrer policy plugs information leaks. Permissions. Policy shuts down APIs you don't use. And CSP, the heavy hitter, locks down where scripts, styles, and images can load from. Run the result through securityheaders.com. An A+ confirms all 5 landed. Layer 4 cleans up what the file system leaks by default. Any .dot file, the Git directory, and common backup extensions, env, SQL, back, SWP, get a flat deny. Drop the whole thing into a snippets file, include it from every server block, and you've got roughly 25 lines doing the work of 4 separate defenses. That's the config you copy to every host from now on. Now step back and ask why this works at all. The honest answer, almost every attack hitting your server is a bot grepping for low-hanging fruit, known CVEs, default WordPress paths, and exposed .env. Hardening doesn't make you smarter than the attacker. It makes you boring, and boring targets get skipped. Stack independent layers so one misconfiguration doesn't sink you. Keep the config cheap, and you've handled 95% of the noise before a WAF ever enters the conversation. So here's the cheat sheet. Print it, pin it, whatever works. Each row is 1 layer and the specific attack class it kills. Server tokens, off blinds, version scanners, limit rec zone and limit rec together, throttle brute force. The 3 headers cover clickjacking, MIME sniffing, and XSS, and the .dot file location block keeps your .git and .env off the public internet. Drop it all into snippets hardening.conf, include it from every host, then run the site through securityheaders.com. You should land an A+. Time to actually do this. 3 drills, about 45 minutes total. Exercise 1. Hide the version, then curl your own headers to confirm it's gone. Exercise 2. Add a 2 request per second limit on API. Hammer it with a 30 request loop and watch the 503s kick in right where you'd expect. Exercise 3. Add the 5 headers, then paste your URL into securityheaders.com. Pair that with the A+ from SSL Labs in Lesson 10, and you've got 2 green badges. That's production grade. Now, before you ship any of this, 5 ways hardening backfires. Enforce CSP on day 1, and you'll silently break your own fonts and analytics. Start with report only for 2 weeks. Set rate limit at 1 request per second, and a normal logged-in user pulls 503s because modern UIs fire 5 parallel calls. Match real behavior with burst 20+. Forget the always flag and your headers vanish on the error pages attackers probe hardest. Blocking htaccess in Nginx does literally nothing. Block git.env and back instead. And a 1 megabyte zone evicts entries on any busy site, which silently resets the limit. Use 10 megabytes in prod. And that's Lesson 11. 4 layers, roughly 25 lines of config. Fingerprint hidden, rate limit set, 5 headers applied, .git and .env blocked. Your server is now boring to attackers, which is exactly what you want. In Lesson 12, we close the course with production deploy patterns, Nginx-T before every reload, blue, green, and canary rollouts, and your graduation as an Nginx operator. See you there.